Namaste. Welcome to Let's Talk Montessori Essential Learning Concepts. The first thing you notice in a Montessori class is discipline. The 30 to 35 children in the Montessori classroom moving busily, minding their own work without the teacher's instruction. As if directed by some external power. Each one chooses his own work, completes it, and goes to another, although most of the materials are in a single set. We never see a child snatch a material from another child. Imagine what happens in the same situation at home. When there is one material and two children, both fight for that single toy. How are the children so disciplined in the Montessori classroom? The children in the Montessori classroom appear to be extremely organized. They seem to have planned what to work with even before they step into Montessori classroom. Not just the material, what kind of groundwork they need to do before getting that work. Whether to have a sitting mat, a big rug, a chowki, or a table. For instance, imagine a child has planned to work with a pink towel. He directly goes to the mat, gets the required mat, unrolls, and then goes to the place of display only to find that another child has already taken the first cube of pink towel and carried to his mat. A parent observing this may feel so sorry for the child and may even try providing another set of material. Nevertheless, the trained teacher knows how to handle this situation and refrains from interfering. Let us study the situation again. The child wants to work with a particular material. By the time he gets to the place of display, some other child has taken that material. Now, this child has two options. One, he can choose some other material and work with that. Two, wait for the material to come back to its place. Both these alternatives are challenging and require a strong willpower. Yet the child chooses any of this instead of snatching from the other child. How is it possible in the Montessori classroom? To understand this possibility, we need to understand the freedom the child enjoys in a Montessori classroom. According to Maria Montessori, freedom and discipline are the two faces of the same coin. One doesn't exist without the other. For instance, if we are strict with a teenager and restrict him from going to malls, theaters, and tasting some foods or decide what he must wear, he will behave accordingly as long as he is within our control. The moment he gets out of our sight, he will do what he wants. Hence, it is essential to give children freedom and make them aware its limits. In the Montessori classroom, children enjoy freedom in addition to discipline. Here, freedom doesn't mean that children can do whatever they want. It is freedom within limits. Every freedom the child enjoys has a limit, has a boundary. We have four kinds of freedom in the Montessori environment, but all these freedoms have their own limits. Freedom of speech is the first freedom that the children enjoy in the Montessori schools. The children have freedom to speak whatever they want, from Shah Rukh Khan to Pogo Channel, and share about their grandparents to the puppy in the neighborhood. The limitation to this freedom is the voice. They have to talk softly. The second freedom is about movement. Children have freedom to move anywhere in the Montessori school. Without seeking teachers' permission, children can move anywhere. They can even go outside the Montessori classroom, provided they have the purpose for their movement. When the child goes out of the room, there must be some reason for it. It could be raking the leaves, watering plants, playing in the playground, mopping, sweeping, or any reason, but there must be some reason to go out. Without any reason, the children are not allowed to move around. The third freedom the children have in the Montessori school is the freedom to work with any material. The limitation is he should know how to work with that material, meaning he should have been presented with that particular material. The fourth freedom. Fourth freedom is the child has the freedom to repeat any activity. However, once he takes the material, he must do the activity at least once and then put back the material in its place the way it was found. Freedom and discipline both are essential for development. What happens if we pull out the plant from the ground to provide freedom to it? What happens if we free the butterfly from the imprisonment of pupa? As a plant's development is attached to the ground, the butterfly's life flourishes being held in the pupa. Discipline and freedom within the limits are essential for the child's development. Thank you. Namaste.